Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I want to tell you a story, and then I want to look at some pumps. But before I do, I need to open these boxes because I think one of them has something. Thank you. Because I think one of them has something that will make it easier for you to hear me, because you probably can't hear me very well right now. But I wanted to show the unboxings because they're always exciting. Everybody loves getting stuff from Amazon. I woke up to these boxes, which is pretty neat. They deliver them overnight. Try not to cut myself on video. Might be good for the views, I don't know. Okay, yes. This will hopefully let you hear me better. So I'm going to hook this up and then we'll get back to what I want to show you. So I said I wanted to tell you a story, and it's about a bicycle ride that I took last weekend. The ride was a 50-mile loop that is a very urban ride. It goes kind of around the perimeter of DC. It's a lot of fun. So I like to do this ride on my road bike. Now, of course, that means I'm doing it on a skinny tire that doesn't have a lot of tread. It doesn't really have a lot of puncture resistance. And so I paid the price last weekend. I went out, I got a pinch flat, probably like 7 or 8 miles into the ride. And that was probably because my tire was underinflated to begin with, which is another lesson learned. So I got the pinch flat and I swapped out the tube and pumped it up with my pump. And it took a long time. It was really hard, and I don't think I even got the pressure where I needed it, but it was okay. So I kept riding, and it was okay. I was riding carefully. I could tell it was a little bit low, and I was looking for an opportunity to, pump it up with a real pump, but I didn't find one. So I'm riding along, and I get to this very, very kind of downtowny area, and it's a shared path through a park that always has a lot of broken glass, and especially the past couple times I've ridden it, just a lot of broken glass. Kind of a shame, but long story short, I picked up a piece of glass and punctured again. So now this is my backup tube, and so I had to patch that with a quick patch, and those quick patches aren't very good, and I had to pump it up again. And then the quick patch failed about 5 miles later. And so I put another quick patch on and had to pump it up again. And then that patch failed. And at that point, there was actually a thunderstorm coming in, which I had misjudged. So the conclusion of the story is I had to call my wife and have her come pick me up. Not my favorite way to end a bicycle ride, but these things do happen. It's always good to have some sort of backup plan when you're going, especially on longer rides, so that you can get home. So when I got home, I started shopping around for some new pumps to see what the best of the modern breed of portable pumps are. And so this morning, the magic of Amazon, I had some boxes waiting for me. So let's take a look. First of all, I bought new tubes. I always use Continental tubes. I have found that the quality is high, the weight is low. When you buy cheap tubes, they're heavy. So if you want a heavy tube, not that there's anything wrong with heavy tubes, got some other stuff. Ooh, check this out. All right, so this is one of the pumps, another Lezyne. I figured this really has been a pretty good pump. So wow, this is really cool. I'm excited about this. Let's get it out of the bag, and I'll do some close-ups. I'll edit in some close-ups later. I don't have a cameraman today, or camera person. I tried to get my dog to run the camera, but all she did was knock it over. Okay, so the first pump is the Lezyne Microfloor HV. HV is for high volume, and it says max PSI 90. Which is interesting because I like to pump my tires up to about 85. So we'll see how that does on the skinny tire. You can see it's pretty big. It's quite a bit larger. I think it's too big to fit in a jersey pocket. Anyway, that is the first pump. We'll compare them later. Let's let's stay. So that's the first pump. Now I have another box here. Let's open it up. Try not to cut myself. So fun opening boxes. Isn't it fun? Cool. Batteries. Wow, that's a good price. Okay. These are the other two pumps. They are both from CrankBrothers. They are both from the Klic series. One is the high volume and one is the high pressure. So let's go ahead and fix my flat, and then we will also take a close look at these three different pumps. We will check out the design and we'll weigh them and compare the size and talk about how we might carry them because they are on the larger side. And then we will also do some inflation tests. Nice strong Velcro strap. All right, so let's keep going with this guy. Okay, this threads in. That's very secure. This looks like a reversible head. Schrader Presta. I guess I need to flip it over because I'm Presta. There we go. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. Is that in focus? Hopefully it's in focus. I can't see. I apologize. But that's pretty neat. And let's look at a crank brother. I got to make sure I keep these straight so I know which is which. This is the HV. All right, look, I said I wasn't going to review these, but there is a pretty big difference. Look at this. This is just plastic with a, I'd say kind of a average quality Velcro strap with a plastic buckle. This one, it feels like a slightly higher quality plastic. It's actually a little bendier, which I think is good. It also has this rubber gasket in here, which is good. And then this Velcro strap has a rubber lining, which is kind of cool, where it says Lezyne. And then it's got this aluminum buckle, which, you know, could just be for show, but just shows Lezyne is, they really do a nice job with design. Maybe that's why Lezyne rhymes with design. Never thought of that. Anyway, and look, they got all these awards. Yay! Okay. I think Lezyne is German, and I think CrankBrothers is American, Californian. Yeah, right there. Designed by CrankBrothers in Laguna Beach, California. Okay, so this is the Klic HP CO2. Again, high pressure with a CO2 cartridge option. And we'll see if we can figure that out. Okay. This looks like good strong Velcro, give them that. All right, so they are different. Look at that. They are different. You know what? This almost makes me want to review these, but again, I'm not going to. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the CO2. You can see it's taller, but it's hard to tell, but it's a little skinnier. You can see with my fingers, it's taller and skinnier, shorter and fatter. This is the high volume, and this is the high pressure with the CO2. So let's look at the high volume. So the handle pivots, that's pretty nice, has a nice solid feel. It moves very easily. Makes pressure very quickly, that's cool. Now it looks like the hose is in here. How do you get, oh, okay, just pulls out, that's cool. And then it's supposed to click on, that's why they call these the Klic. It's supposed to be magnetic. So, yeah, it'd be this end, right? Oh, okay. Yep, that's pretty cool. Snaps on nice and easily. And then it also has the reversible press-to-Schrader head. So, the hose stores in the handle, close the handle, locks in the hose, and yeah, if you close it just right, it locks it closed. So that's pretty cool. It does rattle a little bit here. I'm going to hold it close to my mic. Hear that? So it's not perfect, but it is very nice. I am really impressed with the design. These are all just beautifully designed pieces of engineering. I mean, God, look how cool they look. It looks like the Men in Black memory eraser. I'm gonna blink. You can't see Buddha. I just erased Buddha's memory. Okay, so this is the same thing. Handle turns, hose is in there. Is that a longer hose? Looks like it might be a slightly longer hose, which is nice. I like the longer hose. And then, what is the CO2 thing? Oh, this unscrews. Okay. This unscrews to reveal. Oh, okay, so that is actually a CO2 inflator. And I thought it had room to store a cartridge, but I guess not. It is, okay, well that's good to know. So the CrankBrothers CO2 option is a CO2 inflator in the end of the pump. So it's stored in the pump, but it's not really integrated into the pump. And then also, it does not actually store a cartridge. I mistakenly thought that it actually stored a cartridge, but clearly that is not the case. It just holds an actual CO2 inflator. So that's kind of neat. Okay, we'll play with that later. Okay, so that's a tour of the 3 pumps. I hope it looked okay on the camera. I can't actually see. I did say that I would weigh them, so let me bring in the scale-o-rama here. We will start with the big guy, although it's beautifully light. This really is a very cool pump. 202 grams, 202 for the Lezyne. The smaller of the CrankBrothers, 112, so very light, 112 for the CrankBrothers high volume. The CrankBrothers high pressure CO2, 135 grams, 134, 135. So 134, 135 on the HP CO2, 112 on the HV, and 202 on the Lezyne. So all very light, all under half a pound. And then just for comparison, my old Lezyne only 90 grams. So this guy is still even lighter, but that's not surprising. I mean, look at the size, right? Line them up, and it's no surprise at all that that one is a little bit heavier, or a little lighter, whatever you call it. Okay, so hopefully you can see everything right now. As you can see, I've popped out the little footrest, so I'll put that there. It has a nice long hose, which is really nice. One of the things about these portable pumps is you need room to work, and you don't want to have to worry about breaking off this inflation valve. I've seen that, the valve stem. I've broken them off with these little mini pumps, especially when you're trying to get them up to the high pressure and you're really kind of fighting it, and you're probably getting a little cranky too, and maybe not being as careful as you should. I have broken the stems. Okay, so we've got the micro floor drive HV. I've hooked it up. It's nice. It threads on to the valve stem. It's got the little foot rest, which I folded out, and I'm gonna time myself. Okay, I've got the stopwatch. Hopefully you can see it. I just started it, and here I go. Okay, it has a nice feel. You can hear it working. Still definitely a small pump, not a full floor pump, but that's good. I feel it's good. Okay, it's getting a little bit harder. I'm gonna start using two hands. This handle is nice, but the edges are a little bit sharp, which is interesting. Okay, I'm gonna as you can see, the bending over part is interesting. I'm very much bent over. I don't know how I look on the camera. All right, we're coming up on a minute. Ooh, that feels pretty good. Okay, well, so this is cool. It's not getting that difficult to pump. I mean, I'm pushing hard, but I don't feel like it's fighting me. It's heating up a tiny bit, but not really. So that's very impressive. Okay, I'm pushing pretty hard now, and that's a nice hard tire, so I'm going to stop it. 1:20, and I'm going to catch my breath because that was a little bit of a workout. But 1:20, and that was actually really easy. As far as these, oops. All right, you got to be careful. There's a release, air release on here. This is a release, which is nice, little pressure release. Okay, so 1:20. So we did the inflation with the Lezyne floor pump. It was really good. I'm very impressed. That was nice. That's a rideable pressure, definitely, and I feel like I could have even gone a little higher. And it took 1:20. It was not that difficult. So yeah, I'm impressed. So I'm going to let all the air out. Ready? Okay, this is going to be the Klic HP CO2. Klic HP CO2, although I'm not going to use the CO2. All right, so the way this works, flip the handle to open it up and release it, and the hose comes out. It's on Presta, so I'm going to go ahead and thread it on. Okay, that is threaded on, and then this is the magnetic Klic system, which is pretty cool. I like that. Okay, reset my counter. I guess this is a hold it one, not a floor pump, and go. Okay, so right away, it's hard to tell if I'm actually pumping anything. And this is one of the complaints I had with my old pump, is when you first start, it's like, is it even working? I guess it is. So I'm gonna keep going. Sorry if this looks obscene. And again, this is the HP. So we do expect it to take a little longer because it's a smaller pump. Okay, it's working. I'll be honest, this feels a lot like my old Lezyne. So it's like it's working, it's fine, but it's
God, it just feels like it's gonna take forever. I'm gonna keep going. Sorry to be breathing in the mic, sorry. All right, so that's 1:20, which is where the other one finished. And actually this, you know what? I'm impressed. It's funny, it doesn't feel like as good for some reason. And now it's starting to get hard. But, yeah, okay. It's gonna take a little longer, but still not bad at all. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, that's pretty good. I'd like a little bit more, but so 2 minutes. So 1:20 on the first one, 2 minutes on this one. Again, the pump feels good. I like the click. That's cool. This is all very cool, by the way. This hose and the magnetic click, that is a cool feature. That's cool. Okay, the final test, I think, I might do my old one, but probably not. The final test is going to be the Klic HV, or the high volume. So I'm going to let all the air out again. There we go. Okay. Hear the click? Get my mic close. That's the click, that's the magnetic click. All right, so in my hand, this is a much smaller pump with a shorter hose, which gives me a little bit less room to work, but that is okay. Reset my stopwatch and go. Okay, shorter stroke. It's a shorter stroke, but again, I feel like it's moving more air, because it is, and I don't know, it's just like psychologically it's better for some reason. And it's a very compact stroke. 30 seconds. And I'm feeling the pressure building already, which is good. Now this is a high volume pump, so it'll be interesting to see how it does with the actually achieving higher pressure. Not being terribly scientific though, because I'm not using a pressure gauge, but again, my thumb is a highly sensitive, calibrated, sensitive scientific equipment. I get it checked by NIST every week. Okay, it's getting hard. I like that I can hold the handle with a T and not worry about my knuckles. That's a nice feature. Somebody was thinking when they designed that. All right, that's 1:20, and it's a little soft feeling. So let's keep going. And it is getting hard, and this is what I read about the high volume pumps is it's not that they can't handle the pressure, it's just that you have to be strong enough to move more air at a higher pressure. And this is hard. Okay, that's 2 minutes. I'm gonna stop. So I gotta catch my breath. Just for fun, I'm gonna go ahead and top off this tire with the high pressure version of the CrankBrothers pump. It looks like this is the one that I'm gonna be carrying primarily on my road bike. I really like that Klic attachment. Oh, see, yeah, that's amazing. So now, this isn't that hard to press. So it was really hard with the high volume pump, but now with the high pressure pump, I'm able to top it up without, I mean, I'm still squeezing it pretty hard, but big difference. And yeah, now we're getting up to really where the tire needs to be. This is a great little pump. Oh yeah, there we go. That is a hard tire right there. Okay, this is a great pump. CrankBrothers, high pressure CO2. I'm impressed. I like it a lot. Well, that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I hope it was informative. Just to review, we looked at the two different CrankBrothers Klic pumps, the high pressure and the high volume. Another cool feature I didn't show you guys, the Klic open close for the inflation hose. That's another nice detail. So again, the design of all three of these pumps is really just absolutely beautiful. I mean, you know, this even feels good. Feels good, sounds good. Look at me, I can't stop playing with it. Okay. So we've got the high volume, thicker, shorter. We've got the high pressure, which again with the optional CO2, which is just an inflator that you use separately. So you have to carry your CO2 cartridge and then it screws into here. So you have a backup inflator, which is always good. And then this was the Lezyne Micro Floor Drive HV, high volume. It's basically a mini floor pump. And again, also beautifully made. It looks very nice with this high polish aluminum body. It's very lightweight, and I found it very easy to use. It's a little big to carry in a jersey pocket probably, but in a frame pack, which is what I have on my mountain bike / do everything bike, it's going to fit perfectly. So this is going to be my mountain bike pump. This is going to be my road bike pump. That's the high pressure, because it really did a great job of getting my tire pumped up. And then the HV, I'm going to give to my son, and he can use that for his hybrid, because this is perfect for hybrid tires. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you found this informative and entertaining. It's a beautiful day. I am going to clean up and go for a ride. So should you.